Hey everybody, we're making soap at the Cornerstone Market. And we're gonna make a brand new soap today. We're gonna call it Pink Lemonade. Oh, and I don't have what I need to show you. Just hang on a minute. I got something from Leslie Messer. And that's M-E-S-S-N-E-R. If I didn't pronounce it right, I'm sorry. And she sent me a free sample because she made this absolutely awesome colored soap that made me think of Pink Lemonade. And I thought, wouldn't it be fun? Oh, and I've got a letter. I love it when I have a letter. Okay. Oh, she sent me something else in here too. Did I get everything? Yep. Okay. All right, she says, let's see. Okay. The thing I wanted to show you was the madder root powder. And this is a spice, to the best of my knowledge. It's been ground up to a powder. And it makes your soap the prettiest color of hot pink. Or at least that's what it looked on the Facebook picture. And she's also sent me 2 soaps, I think. Hi, Kim. Enclosed, please find the madder root powder that you purchased from soap making, that I purchased from soap making resources. So you say she sent me this, I didn't pay. Okay, that's www.soap-making-resources.com. soap-making-resource.com. They are out of Pennsylvania and their website is full of great information. I've also included a couple of small samples of the color range that I have been able to achieve from my own experiments. Using your base recipe of coconut oil, lard, and soybean oil, the darker one is using 1 tablespoon of madder root mixed with the superfats. The lighter one is 1/2 teaspoon in the lye water. So now, isn't that pretty? It's a really pretty bright pink. I hope you can see it good. Let me get it out. So that's a really pretty color. And that's what we're sort of going to go for today, is something that shade. Maybe a little lighter. All right. And the other one, she used it in the lye water, which I don't normally do. I never put anything in my lye water but water and lye. But isn't that pretty? Wait, let me get the right end up. Isn't that pretty? And she just blended it in, looks like. So it's in a swirl. And that says absolutely Randy. I hope I was getting that right, because Randy can mean more than one thing. Okay, all right. All right, so I would imagine you can get quite a range of colors by the amount and method used, which Soap Making Resources has on their website. Thanks again for all you do. I look forward to a new video of your creation with madder root powder. That's what we're doing today. Wish you all the best in the new year and continue success at the Cornerstone Market. Sincerely, Leslie. And she gave me a happy smile. All right, so today my daughter decided that we should see what it would do with goat's milk, because goat's milk normally darkens things up a little bit. And she said that I have customers. I didn't even know I had customers. I always put oats in my goat milk soap. It just seems like it goes with it. But we've got customers looking for a goat's milk soap that don't have oats in it for some reason. So we're gonna try it today with madder root. So I'm gonna put that right there and put the rest of this up here. And we're gonna get going on this soap. But I gotta put the lye water in all of those first. So I'll bring you back. Okay, everybody, I've got my stick blender, my spoon, and my spatula. I've got my super fats ready, my milk ready, and on this one I'm not doing as much milk as I normally do. I'm doing 3/4 in water and 1/4 in milk. So if your recipe called for 16 ounces of water, 12 ounces would go here, and then 4 ounces here would be replaced with milk. So you put all of the lye in 1/4 or 4 ounces less of the 16 ounces of water, and so that way you're doing a water reduction, and then we're going to replace that water in milk, but not right away. We're going to first let the lye have the opportunity to eat on the oils a bit before we put the milk in there. And you really can't put the milk in at the end as big a time, because I think you might have more issues with molding in your soap bars. So it's really better to stick it in you know, when the lye is saponifying the oils. But I don't like to do it first. I like the oils to go ahead and get rid of some of its nastiness on my oils before I put my milk in, and lose some of its strength. And also, I never put lye water in milk. I don't want to eat my milk up with lye. And you know how many, I mean, this was made yesterday, but even if you made the lye water today, that milk is going to spend hours imperfeated with lye, and it's going to be eating it and turning it into a whole nother beast. And we don't want to do that. I mean, you can fry an egg in lye water, or poach it anyway. And so we want to make sure that we don't do anything that we can get out of to our milk. So just use water, reduce it. Normally I do half the water, all the lye, and then I use the other half of water in milk. But today we're just doing 1/4 the milk, 3/4 water. Okay, so we've got our oils cooled. Now, I used to use a water bath for my lye, and I told you the general temperatures, but I cook cold. So for me, I put my finger in the oils, and if I don't feel any sting, but it still feels lukewarm, I say it's good. On my lye water, because I'm doing goat's milk, I put it up in the freezer. I used to use a ice water bath, but now I just stick it up in the freezer. I make it the day before and put it in the refrigerator, and then I stick it up in the freezer for an hour or so and really get it cold, but don't let it start freezing. And I keep forgetting that on this one, when you turn off the button, it still spins for a little bit before it quits. And so when I lifted it up, it splattered. And that's why we wear eye protection. All right. All right, so now we are going, if this is your first time and you have a warm feature on your crock pot, put it on warm. And because I'm not putting any oats in this and no honey in this, and I want this to be as creamy as possible in color, because if I'm putting honey and oats in it, it's going to brown it up anyway. But because I want this to be as light and creamy as possible so that our color, the pink color, will come out really pretty, I'm going to cook on warm today. All right, but normally, because I'm familiar with the process, I will cook on low. Okay guys, so now I'm going to put my madder root, if I can get into it with these gloves on. Yep, double bag. That's good stuff to do right there. Keep it from escaping in the mail. Alright. So I'm going to take my plastic wrap off. We get our stuff ready the day before. Alright, and normally I would use 2 tablespoons. But I don't want as dark a pink as what she's got. Oh, this stuff is like clay. There we go. So I'm going to add a tablespoon and see what I get. Put that up there. Well, actually, no. It's labeled. So I'm going to put it back in the second bag so that I don't forget what I got here. And it has a very clay consistency, but I know it's a root. So I called it a spice earlier, but I don't know why I did that, because it's called madder root. It's made from the root. So now I'm just going to take and blend that into the liquid oils in my super fat bowl. Let me see if yeah, making sure I was in there. Alright, so we have got the madder root well blended. And I'm going to sit this behind here because I know that the sink is designated for lotion, so we can't just throw dirty dishes in there the way we might in the past. And we're waiting now on our 5 minutes before we add our milk, and it's not quite been 5 minutes, so I'll bring you back. Okay, guys. So now it has been 5 minutes, and I'm gonna open my milk and pour it in. And the key to this is we don't want to pour it in. We want to pour it in before it goes to a hard gel. That's where the problem lies, because then you can't blend it in well. So you want it into a soft state when you blend it, and usually a recipe will stay that way for at least 5 minutes. So that's why I wait 5 minutes. Alright, so now I'm well blended. This has got goat's milk in it. None of my other soaps has got goat's milk in it. So I have got to be very careful not to use these utensils on the other soaps, because then I'll have residue of milk in those soaps, and I can't have that because I label, and my labels have got to be accurate. So now we're going to stick it back on, let it perk some more. Okay, so now we're in gel, and you can see where it's just starting to come out of gel in some places, and also, you know, the milk was blended, but it might be slightly, but pretty much this is all done at the bottom and of it, and we are cooking it much slower this time. But I just go ahead and I turn it over so that the bottom doesn't get all the contact straight with the heat like the rest of it does. I mean, all of it gets contact with direct heat, and then the upper sections don't. So I just go ahead and turn it all over and work with it from there. So we're just still watching. Okay, here is our soap cooked on low, and I always end up with a creamy color, and So it's completely out, but see how it's sort of a little soupy? That's normal with goat's milk. It hardens up real good. So let me, and if I hadn't have been distracted making lotion, this would have probably been a touch lighter in color, but I got really distracted making lotion. Bad Kim, bad Kim. And so here is our 1 tablespoon of madder root in a double batch. This makes 22 bars. And I got my stick blender handy. Since I always like to blend goat's milk with a stick blender once because it seems to help the texture. Getting a really pretty pink. I'm tickled. And you can't do that too long with a stick blender, or whoop, I forgot that one come off, or the heat will travel up the rod and burn your motor out. So let's see, get you lined back up again. Take my Alright, and there's going to be a little bit of super fats that didn't get blended because they were hard oils, the shea butter. So I'm going to clean my sides and just let that sit and cool down just a little bit to 160 and let the rest of the shea butter melt. I've turned it off, and then we will put our essential oil in. Hey everybody, okay, we were wanting to call this pink lemonade, pink for the color and lemonade for the smell, okay, and I have not done it. I've not perfected it. I think I put too much lemongrass in here, but we will find out once it's in the soap. Now, goat's milk soap is a lot more pliable later on. In other words, you can let it cool down much lower in temperature, but it's still mold okay. And I'm putting in some grapefruit, so I brought it down to 135. It's still nothing compared to grapefruit's threshold is 35 or 25 or something like that. So it's just a real fragile essential oil. I never try to use it in hot process soap, but to try to get a pink lemonade or lemonade feel, I have added grapefruit. So this is what I've done. I've added 2 ounces of lemongrass, and I think maybe I should have went with 1. 2 ounces of pink grapefruit, 1 ounce of peppermint to sweeten, 1 ounce of lemon, and 1 tablespoon of lime, and 1 tablespoon of tea tree to act as an antifungal, antiseptic, basically to prevent mold. It's for the fact that it's goat's milk lotion, goat's milk soap. I've just started doing that over the past few months, just throwing a tablespoon of tea tree in my soaps that do not normally get tea tree, and especially those with milk. It's really great to prevent any kind of mold or bacteria from establishing in your bars during storage. So, as I said, We've got it down to 135, and this is for a double batch, so this is 22 bars. The reason I didn't put all lemon and use the lemongrass is because this is a goat's milk soap. I don't want it to be for oily skin, and so if you use too much citrus, you're gonna end up stripping everybody's, stripping their skin out really bad, and I didn't want to do that. So I'm gonna mix this up, and hang on, I'll bring you up where you can see it. It's very pretty with the madder root. I like the color at 1 tablespoon for a double batch. You can go to KimberlyMatnut.com, KimberlyMatnut.com, and then click on the free soaping recipes link in the left-hand column towards the top. Not completely up, but pretty high on the list there. And you can find my recipes. If you don't want to use them, you can at least check the size so you know how big they are to compare my essential oil recipes. The recipes are free. The top recipes have the super fats listed at the bottom, so know that you've got to pick out a top base recipe and then pick out one of the 2 super fat recipes at the bottom. Alright, so my tripod's acting a little weird. I need a TEA spoon, Bridget.
Okay.
It's as if one leg is, there it is. One of the legs was slightly short or something. Alright. And so I'm going to just give it one last stir, and you can see how fluid this is at this temperature. This would not be possible with normal hot processed soap. It only happens with the goat and milk soap.
TEA.
Thank you.
Brought you spare.
Oh, Bridget, I think it has lemonade smell now. Smell it.
Oh, it does.
It does. It does. It smells pretty perfect to me. Does it smell perfect to you?
It does smell perfect.
All right. We might enhance it with something later, but we're going to leave it just like it is and let it cure and see what we think of it. I forgot to turn my crock pot around, and the knob is up against the basket, so I'm having to push it back a little bit. And make sure you're seeing good. Yep. Yep. There we go. The madder root seems to be very versatile.
And how do you spell that, Mom?
Huh?
Madder root, how do you spell that?
It's madder, actually, with a D. M-A-D-D-E-R.
Ooh.
I keep saying matter, like M-A-T-T-E-R.
Yeah. That's what I thought. I was like...
It's the root of all matter. And we're sort of tired. When you watch this video, I want you to think back on how crazy, what's the date?
Today's the 8th.
On how crazy February the 8th was. It has been the craziest day. And all my customers that are coming in are complaining about the same thing. It's as if the moon or the sun is lined up with something hinky. I don't know what's causing it, but I don't like it.
Yeah, whatever it is, just stop.
That's right. Okay. I'm going to do my traditional twirl.
Okay. So they've all been stirred.
Did you put the super fats in them?
No. Do they need the super fats?
That's what I told you to do, was put the super fats in them and stir them.
Okay. So I stirred them, now I'm going to plop them super fats in.
All right.
Okay, so this one goes to this one.
Okay. I'm gonna leave it a little lumpy. I mean, you know, not make it flat. What do you think? It's a pretty pink color.
I like it.
I don't know how pink it'll be when we get done. Where's those samples that she sent me?
Right there.
That's the sample of the powder, but she sent me 2 little pieces of soap.
Is it still in the envelope?
No. Oh, I don't think it is. Yes, I put it back in.
Hello, my mommy.
And so this would be the equivalent of 2 tablespoons, and this is 1 tablespoon, so it's going to be lighter than this, I assume. We will see. Uh-oh, I've got the camera off. There we go. So I assume it's going to be lighter than this. This is 2 tablespoons for this amount of soap, and this is 1 tablespoon for this amount of soap. So we'll just have to wait and see. And let's see what it smells like. I'm gonna get a little bit, a scrap out of my crock pot. Goat's milk soap is always so luscious. Oh, the lemongrass really comes out. I may have got a little bit too much lemongrass in here, but when it cures, oh, it smells absolutely heavenly. Let me go over that recipe with you again. Okay. 1 ounce of peppermint, 2 ounces of pink grapefruit, 2 ounces of lemongrass, 1 tablespoon tea tree for a preservative, 1 ounce lemon, 1 tablespoon lime. And that's for a double batch. And the peppermint really sweetens the pot. Gosh, that's good. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Hey, everybody. We've been soaping.
Yeah.
And we come up with a new soap. And yesterday, we were not 100% sure that we had managed the scent that we wanted.
We were really worried.
I mean, we put everything in it that we thought would be right. And so for a double batch, which is 22 bars, and you can go to KimberlyMagnet.com to look at my batches on there so you can see the batch size. Make sure you add the superfats to the batch, because you've got your base oil recipes at the top and then the superfats to choose from at the bottom on my free recipe page that you'll find on the left side of the page in the links. I think it's like free soap recipes maybe. Or it may just say soap recipes. But we were given a sample of madder root, which is a beautiful pink, by Leslie Messer. I think I said it right.
Yes.
And I was so excited to get that. And so we tried it, and I got the exact color I wanted with 1 tablespoon to a double batch. So it'd be half a tablespoon to your 4-quart crock pot. Okay? It would be a tablespoon to your 7-quart crock pot and your double batch. But a single batch goes in a 4-quart crock pot.
Yep.
By the way, they do sell 3.5, and they suck with trying to do one of my single batches and filling a Central Depot mold.
Don't they overflow?
Do
they overflow?
Yeah, they overflow during the first part of the cooking. It comes up too high.
Yep.
All right. So we put 1 tablespoon of madder root in a double batch, and we got 1 ounce of peppermint, 2 ounces of pink grapefruit, which is a normal no-no, because pink grapefruit flashes off at the least little thing, and you can't get the scent to travel over because it has a really low flash point, so I'd never use it in hot processed soap.
Yeah.
All right, lemongrass, 2 ounces, 1 tablespoon of tea tree to act as a preservative. It's a goat's milk soap.
Yep.
And 1 ounce of lemon and 1 tablespoon of lime. Technically, 1 tablespoon is a half an ounce, roughly, but your tablespoons can vary. So, and I started out soaping using a tablespoon, so I've always did that.
Yeah.
But I went ahead and did ounces on this recipe, except for the lime. I just did 1 tablespoon. And it did not smell like pink grapefruit, did it?
No.
But now,
All we smelled was the lemongrass.
that's right. But
It was
once
just
we put it in the
lemongrass.
soap, we had some hope.
Yeah.
And then when we smelled it this morning, we were like, yes!
I come
We
in and I
did
was
it.
like, Mom, have you smelled it yet? And I stuck it to her and she was like,
it smells like pink grapefruit. Pink, it smells like
the pink
lemonade. Pink lemonade, that's what I meant to say. So here is our beautiful pink.
look.
And it is gorgeous. And it smells, in my opinion, just like pink lemonade that you get at the gas station.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have any high fructose corn syrup in it, so, but it isn't safe to eat, so. And a little comment on this, if you'll remember, on the pink grapefruit, instead of, this would not have worked on regular soap, okay? Because regular soap, you get it down much below 160, you're not gonna mold it. But goat's milk soap is a lot more fluid and a lot cooler. And so sure enough, at 140, or it was 135, I'm gonna have to watch the video because we didn't write it down. I think it was right at 140. We were able to put it in and mold it, and we were able to salvage the grapefruit smell in our soap.
Yep, and it was my glorious idea to make it a goat's milk soap.
But I wanted to talk to you about Essential Depot's frames. This is the frame that holds the mold. And this is their Essential Depot silicone molds. They're just perfect. You just barely pull and dump and the soap comes right out, okay? And then it's very easy to clean. You've already got a little soap residue, so it's soap included. Usually just hot water, but if you do something funky like activated charcoal, that kind of thing, add a little Dawn dish detergent. If you're worried about bacteria, add a little bleach. It's silicone, you're not gonna hurt it. And inside the basket, this is very easy to move. You've got two handles, plus, so if you're doing the hot process method in an oven, I forget what that's called, but if you're doing the oven process, you have something to hold on to with your oven mitts that will not cause the soap to crack. And if you're doing cold process, you've got something to gently hold it as you move it, because cold process soap is phenomenal. If you lightly touch it, it cracks before it's ready to be cut. And then also it stacks really easy. So you can take these and just stack them up. I've stacked them up 6 high with 2 layers, 2 stacks with no issue. So it really cuts out on your counter space that you need for your soap to sit and cure, or sit and process till it's ready to be cut the next day, or 2 days or 3 days, depending on your recipe. So I really love those. You want to pop those out. They're really easy to pop out. And there you go, see? Just really easy peasy. And then you just flip it over, pop the sides, and roll it over. And if you have any issue, which we never do, but if you do, just touch it with the ball of your hand right here, there in the center.
Just give it a little poke like that.
It just pops right out. And your soap is out and ready to be cut and enjoyed. We'll get rid of these.
And I have a bucket down there. I'm not just brushing them on the floor.
It's the soap room. It can get pretty soapy in here. So let's cut a bar.
And I put it over here. I was like, should I cut it or should I wet it?
And we've had a few customers, we let them smell this before we got ready to cut it, and they're like, "Oh, I've smelled that before," and they were like, "I've smelled this before," and I was like, "We were trying for a beverage," and they were like, and then I found like, "Well, does it smell anything like pink lemonade?" Oh, that's what it smells like, pink lemonade! And so we're so excited about it. And remember, you've got to put that grapefruit in a cooler state, so I highly recommend a goat's milk soap, not a regular hot processed soap. Oh, and I can still smell a little bit of the lemongrass, and it's still possible to maybe cut the lemongrass down to 1.5 ounces. But the reason I use lemongrass instead of just lemon is because lemon and lime, I just used a tablespoon of lime, and the lime was to sour it up like your lemonade. This was Bridget's idea. And but lemongrass is actually a skin toner, where lemon is an oil stripper. And so that's for oily skin. And so you've got to be careful how much citrus you use in soap if you want it not to strip. Yeah, you want to go show them? Go show them. If you want it to not strip the hide right off of your dry or normal skinned individual. Isn't that pretty?
Yeah, it's so pretty.
It is so pretty, and we are so excited that this soap managed it. Now this is Essential Depot's first original coater, and this is perfect. It's made to work with their molds.
And I love it.
But they do have another advanced one that has a raised bar on this arm right here, so that if you're using a longer mold, you just put the soap in, chop it, pick up the piece that fell off, put it in and chop again, and if another piece pops off, because your soap is really, really long molded, you just pop it in there and cut. So it allows you to cut soap of any length.
Yeah, I'm not fond of that one too much.
You like this one better?
It's very heavy.
Oh, it's heavier. Maybe there's more metal involved to get that bar.
The bar.
Yeah. Well, I'm just really excited about this. And so I can still, but after the cure, we'll have to wait and see. But it smells like pink freaking lemonade.
Yes.
It smells like pink freaking lemonade. So I'm so excited about
You
this.
give me those scrappies.
Oh, yeah. Are you taking those scrappies home?
Yeah, making me a scrappy bar.
Oh, let's show them how you do that.
Okay.
All right. What you do is you take your long scrap pieces and you press them together. So you put your weight in it, but not all of it. Depends on how if you're a really light, skinny person, you might have to put all your weight in it. And you know, and then you take your thumb and you mar the joint, the ends, or the, what is that? Yeah, all the way around the sides. You mar that together.
Soap Pop-Tart.
Yeah. And then boom, with a little bit of work. And now we could actually take this and fold it one more time and do the same thing. Mar the edges, and you can do that by just pinching them in your hands and just mold this into a little tiny bar. And then another thing you can do is you can use, what is it, Gravanza bags. Those little shiny bags we have in there for the rocks.
The shiny bags.
For the rocks, for the...
Oh, the decorative little bags?
Yeah, they're like called...
Oh, yeah, you can stuff it in there.
Yeah, you can let this cure for a few days and then put it in the bag, and then the bag acts as an exfoliant, and then it's just awesome. And you can put any scraps, just break them up and put them in there in any fashion. And she's like,
not whatnot.
and you have a wonderful little soap bag, so it's a great way to use your scraps. All right, so the YouTube has cut people down to 1 hour videos, so I guess we can't talk elaborately. Boo, boo. Yeah, I used to, I could do 2 hours. I started at 4 hours. They let you do a 4 hour video. And so now, then they cut it down to a 2 hour, and now they've cut it down to an hour.
You Nazis.
I know it. The heathen YouTube inventors or managers or
whoever you are.
Whoever you are. It's just because everybody's watching YouTube on their phone and their laptop. And
you can't load it.
You can't load a 4 hour video.
Maybe they should cut down on their ads.
Anyway, but I'm going to go over this recipe. Remember, you've got to do a goat's milk soap so it's more fluid. And I wanted to talk to you about that too, but let me do this. So a goat's milk soap so it's more fluid. Get it down to 135 to 40. You want to use 1 tablespoon of madder root per double batch, half a tablespoon for a single batch. Single batch is 11 bars, double batch is 22 bars. It's 1 ounce of peppermint, 2 ounces of pink grapefruit, 2 ounces of lemongrass, which we may cut down to 1.5. We're going to wait until we see what the cure smell is, because it smells just like pink lemonade, but you get a little bit of that grassy note in the back from the lemongrass.
Yeah, you still smell it.
1 tablespoon tea tree for preservative, which I do not smell at all in this soap, and 1 ounce of lemon, and 1 tablespoon of lime.
You smell the lime a little bit.
Yeah, it puts that sour note to it, just like you have for pink lemonade.
Yeah.
Although it's sweeter than regular lemonade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, our lemon's not really all that sour. It's kind of sweetish.
Yeah. But I mean the lime.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, if we were just gonna make it with lemon,
Yeah.
it wouldn't quite work. This is not quite sour as regular lemonade.
Right. All right. So now, talking to you about the temperature of the goat's milks for the lye water and the oils, I have been making soap for so many years, and I growed to a habit of just putting my finger in the oils, and you'll just sit, just hold. Don't do it when you just turn the crock pot off. Wait a little while. It's too hot, then you'll burn your finger. But put my finger in until I'm just barely submerged, and I sit here and I let my finger naturalize with the oil. And if I feel a little bit of a sting, it's not cool enough. And I just keep putting it in there until I feel warm, but I don't get a sting. And that tells me that it's ready to go. And then on my lye water, I put it in the refrigerator now the night before. We seal it up good so it doesn't get air contact, reduce ash. And then the next day, I pop it up in the freezer for an hour, you know, just to extra chill it because I'm using goat's milk. And that's when I pour the goat's milk. And that's how I pour it into my lye. I mean, the lye water is chilled from the freezer when I put it into the oils.
Does it get slightly slushy?
No.
No?
And you don't want your lye water to get slushy. If you get it slushy, then you need to take it out and let it thaw. So about an hour is all you're going to be able to do when it's already cold in the refrigerator.
Well, if they're doing a single batch,
Yeah, that's true. It might be more like 30 minutes.
like that deep in
Yeah.
one of our containers, so you might want to
That's a good thought. 30 minutes on a single batch.
Yeah.
But used to I'd use a water bath. Now you can do that. You want a pan that you can fill with ice, that you can put your pitcher in, that if it tips in the ice, the lye water won't get out and spill. And you can put it in an ice bath and get it really cold that way. Also, another thing I've done in the past is I will take a plastic water bottle, good quality water bottle, like some of these new waters that you buy, the plastic is so freaking flimsy. Like on this Nestle, it is so flimsy.
A new station alert has arrived.
Well, there you go. And so it is so flimsy and thin that the lye water,
Don't be hating on my Nestle.
the lye water will literally eat the plastic and dissolve it. So if you wonder if your goat's milk is being eaten by your lye water when you put lye in goat's milk, just think of those plastic water bottles that when I freeze them, clear frozen, and I drop one down in the lye water and let it sit to chill my lye water off really fast. But you can also reduce, but I've had them eat through the plastic and then the water escape into my lye water, which gave me more water than I needed. So
And then
that's
you had ooey gooey soap.
yeah. Another thing you can do to chill your lye water down fast is you can get ice and you can do your lye water in a smaller amount of water and then throw cubes of ice in there, which immediately puts the water back in. But you got to make sure your lye crystals are fully dissolved before you put the ice in, because lye crystals don't like to dissolve in really cold water.
No.
And never use hot water to mix your lye. If it's been sitting out in the sun and it's hot, don't use it because it will
blow up. It turns into a volcano. Yeah.
And you called me going, oh.
Yeah. Because I had a double batch and I only had the container for it was a triple batch. It was the turkey cooker.
and somehow the water got hot.
Yeah, well, what happened is I had the triple batch to do, and I only had like the double batch container. I couldn't find the tall container.
Oh, that's what happened.
And so I was doing it in stages. First 2 batches of lye went into the water just fine.
But it was already so hot by the time you put in the next.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay, so she was putting in the water for a single batch and then putting in the lye?
Mm-hmm.
And
well,
then
I put all the water in there.
Oh,
And then I was doing the batches of lye.
At a time.
Yeah.
But it had gotten so hot when you'd stirred in each one that when you put the last dump of powder in, the water was already so hot that when that lye hit it and heated it up even more, it went
Yeah, you get all
and it was a small
container.
container too, so
Well, it was there. It was that one over there.
yeah.
The bigger.
Oh, he's in the bigger jug?
Yeah, it was in the bigger jug.
Well,
It
anyway,
was in this
we
one.
don't have time for this because we might accidentally go over the hour mark and then I'd have to make 2 videos or,
It was in that one.
It was in that and
It just started going
everywhere.
everywhere. Cabinet.
Put all your
And
lye in
all.
at one time and stir.
All one time. Never made that mistake ever again.
Or sprinkle little bits at a time.
But it wasn't all at one time though. Like I dumped in the last batch and I had walked away to get something and turned around and it was which is a really great thing.
That you were walked away.
Yeah.
All right.
I was
Today's
very
Steve's
effective.
birthday, so we're gonna go birthday selling. My power was off, so I didn't get to do my hair today. This is how a little hairspray on combed curly hair looks. And I'm sorry that, well, anyway, I should look better. Anyway, bye everybody.
Bye.